First time coaching, D-League, first experience with the open tryout. What have you seen here today with the talent?
Some talent here, it really is. I mean, we're excited about, kind of breaking them down a little bit and let these guys really showcase themselves in a little more competitive environments. We did a lot of drills, today just to kind of see where, guys' skill level were. And it was a wide range of skill levels, so it's exciting to see. I mean, you just tell the passion, guys love basketball. They may not really have a realistic chance of doing anything other than today, but they love basketball and they want to give themselves a chance, so you have to appreciate that.
Last year you were able to fill 2 roster spots for the open tryout. Do you anticipate kind of a similar number of guys making the squad?
Well, yeah, I mean, we hope so. I mean, I think, obviously our assignment guys are the priority, making sure that they get better, but when they're not on assignment, we still are competitors and we want to give ourselves a good chance to win and be competitive. So I think we want guys that can come in and help us win. I mean, obviously we don't know who exactly will fall to us from the team this year, which slot. We got invited quite a few guys to camp that's looking to make that last roster spot for the Raptors, but if they're not able to do it, a few guys that maybe fall back to us. So I think we want to keep our options open of seeing how we feel out the bottom end of that roster.
How did the job come about for you?
I don't know. I mean, it was just Nick Nurse, who was coached in the league. He talked about it all the time. I think he coached for probably maybe 6 years, and I was like, I didn't know. I mean, I was like, hey, just kind of being behind the bench and learning from Case and watching him and how he operated. It was like, man, I think I could give this a try, being able to run my own team and be able to still continue the development of the young guys who I've been working with. I mean, the Brunos, the Normans. Now we got, Jakob Portal and Pascal, those guys. I mean, I'm excited to work with them now. I'm able to not only help them to grow and expand their game, but at the same time, expand my, kind of coaching, just continue to get better, being in a lot of different situations that, you think it's easy standing and manning the sidelines. You watch Case do it like, hey, but I think now being in that, just thrown in the fray, get a chance to make some mistakes that you don't want that on your big record. So, I think, I thought when you were seeing Jason Kidd and Derek Fisher get this, I was like, hey, I could do that. I could easily step in, but just being there last year, I don't think I was ready to do that. Just the kind of the ancillary relationships that you have to be good, a really good team. You have to build those things, and you have to build that kind of social equity amongst your members of a team to be able to be really good. And I think having a year to do that really helped me to hopefully do well in this role and help this team get better, which in turn will help our Raptors get better, and that's the main goal.
How collaborative do you think the coaching will be? You're going to roll back most of the same assistant staff who did it last year at the D-League level. I'm sure you're going to talk to Dwayne Casey a lot.
I'm adding a couple, staff members to my staff this year, but obviously I inherited a couple from last year, guys that have been around. David Gale, who's, started off in video with the Raptors now. He had his first year last year. Nate, who's been with Maine for a few years and now here. Those guys kind of have the kind of the lay of the land as far as the D-League goes, so I can obviously rely on them. But at the same time, we're obviously a copycat team of the big team, so we're going to run a lot of that stuff, so make sure that those guys, once they come down on assignment, that they're familiar, and once they get back to the real team, then they're able to shorten their learning curve, so to speak. So, having a Jakob Portal, we didn't really, other than JV, most of it, we didn't go into the post a whole lot. But with Jakob and Pascal, I'm gonna go back to the old school a little bit. I'm gonna drop the ball in the post to those guys and play inside out. So I think they'll be excited about that, and I think it'll eventually, hopefully, get Case to the point to where he feel like he could drop it into him too. So I think the development part handles here. We'll handle down on this end, but definitely the mindset and is getting them ready to be able to be a contributor for the Raptors.
At Summer League, the first game that you coached, you got up on the sidelines a little bit. I think you said you keep your trash bag with you. We're going to see some of that at the D-League level?
No, I mean, I get excited during the game. I don't think it's something that you can turn off. Competitiveness isn't something that you can turn off, whether I'm, getting out there playing pickup with them. I had to remind myself that I'm the coach, because I get just, like, hey, that's the foul. I'm not giving it up, And then I was like, all right, I'm the coach now. I let them have it. But at the same time, just when you, again, on the sidelines, in between the lines, you want your team to win. I'm with my team. I'm going to be pushing them and urging them to win. And if somebody have a little comment to me, I'm pretty sure that I'll respond. I've done it for 18 years of playing. I don't see that changing much as a coach.
The fines are smaller in the D-League, too.
Oh, man, what they said, $50 technical. I was like, I might just write a check for a G and just go ahead on and just deduct from that, But nah, I was try to, what's really helped me is like when we had our guys working out in L.A., we were playing against, just pick up and stuff, and I ref the games, for the whole week. And since we've been back here playing a little bit, I've been reffing the game. So it's like I got a lot more love for officials now because they've been giving me a hard time. So it's a tough job. So I think just being able to do that would just kind of help my, get it really into perspective of how tough their jobs is, and maybe when I'm about to explode, I can remember, T. Ross or Norm yelling at me this summer. So maybe I give him a little sympathy.
Have you had a chance to talk to Dwayne Casey at all? Has he given you any advice about the new role?
Well, yeah. I mean, I talk to Casey all the time, and I think he's excited for me. He's excited for just to be able to take it. I mean, I think I'm just being able to see him. He's the epitome of consistency. So, I mean, that's what I want to bring. Obviously, I want us to be efficient, build a really good player development, program for us. I mean, obviously, we want to be able to be teachers, pretty much every day, and then we'll coach on game day. So that's what I tell my guys. We got to come in and try to teach, be grinders. The D-League is where nobody in the D-League feels like that final destination is the D-League. So we're all trying to climb, but my motto is kind of lifting everybody else as we climb. As we climb, we want to lift each other up, make sure we got each other back, no backbiting. Loyalty and being trustworthy is real high on my book. In my book of whether you're playing or whether you're coaching or being part of a team, those are the kind of attributes you have to be good and to have success. So and I think that we're going to do that and see where it puts us.
18 years as a player, last year coaching. That's a generation of being in the NBA. What do you think the travel and the lifestyle is going to be like in the D-League?
Like somebody was asking me about that, but I told them it's going to be as tough as kind of a grind. I was like, I didn't hear that anybody that died last year in the D-League.
They got snowed in once.
Yeah, maybe they got snowed in once, but I didn't hear anybody that got killed because they were in the D-League. So I think it was, we get a little spoiled sometimes with the perks, but that's nothing to me. I mean, I'm not excited about it. Like I said, I did that for 20 years. So, and before I was in the NBA for 20 years, I was just about as broke as you come. So, I spent just about as much of my life on the struggle that watching some of these guys probably do, making whatever it makes, 25, 20 grand. But, it's a destination. It's where you want to get. It's the sacrifices that you have to make. And I'm excited about it, man. I really am. I'm excited about the possibility of just, figuring out what best practices is. It's only 1 year. I mean, last year was the first year. So I don't think all the best practices of how we, want to go about, how we want to develop players, how we want to run this whole, D-League, affiliation is there yet. I think Jesse did a great job last year, but I think we just want to try to continue to build on that, and hopefully I can push the right buttons, manage the right buttons, and I got great guys around me to help. Obviously Case is a phone call away. Nick's done it before. Rex has been huge for me. So all these guys. So just want to be organized, want to be efficient, want to be proficient in our teaching, and just see where the chips fall after that.
Derek Sullinger paid for a kid to come try out today. Did you get a chance to look at him at all?
Yeah.
How do you
I'm glad he didn't have to pay. I'm glad he didn't. I'm glad. It wasn't bad. I mean, like I said, when you're talking about the level of trying to, who has a chance to maybe take another step to the next level, I don't think he was there, but I think he enjoyed, a lot of these guys get to see what it's like. I mean, they think it's easy, you see, Kyle Lowry's 5'9", 5'10". I'm 5'9", 5'10". I can walk up into a three from 35-footer too. So but I think when you get out here and you start to have to think that it's not just playing at the Y or playing at the club, now you have to think, you have to move. You have a little framework of patterns. We just put in a little, probably the most basic motion that you could put, and you saw guys who you thought were okay, he was like he had a pretty game, and then they just all of a sudden started to struggle. So I think that's where you see the difference in guys that's able to take that next step. There's normally a reason why, if you got some talent that you hadn't been able to take it to the next level. It's because, maybe it's just some guys just can't learn plays or can't understand concepts. And not that they're not a good shooter or a good ball handler, but you got to have the complete package to be able to think that you're going to make it at this level. So I think it's a wake-up call for some of them, but I think at the same time, some guys that picked it up really well, then it's encouraging for them to see if I can take it to the next step, come back tomorrow, and be one of the 4 guys that we select to try to come to camp.